World leaders are convening in Africa for a G20 summit for the first time, as South Africa hosts the global gathering on the continent. Noticeably missing is US President Trump, who's still found a way to bring about a storm.
I would like to get the peace. It should have happened a long time ago. The Ukraine war with Russia should have never happened. If I were president, it never would have happened. We're trying to get it ended. One way or the other, we have to get it ended.
High-level talks on Ukraine have taken place on the sidelines of the summit, with Sir Keir Starmer meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. The Prime Minister had this to say earlier.
I'm absolutely clear in my mind that President Trump wants a just and lasting peace, not just from the actions he's taken towards that end, but also from the private discussions that I've had with him one-to-one on this issue. So I know what he's trying to achieve. We all want to achieve that, and that is what our focus is.
EU leaders Antonio Costa and Ursula von der Leyen said there'll be nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine, and went on to issue this European leader statement while at the summit. While they welcomed continued US efforts to bring peace in Ukraine, they also said, "We're clear on the principles that borders must not be changed by force. We are also concerned by the proposed limitations on Ukraine's armed forces, which would leave Ukraine vulnerable to future attack. We reiterate that the implementation of elements relating to the European Union and relating to NATO would need the consent of the EU and NATO members respectively." Peace talks will move on from South Africa to Switzerland, with President Zelensky putting together a delegation to discuss the US peace plan on Ukrainian terms.
Our representatives know how to protect Ukrainian national interests and exactly what is needed to prevent Russia from carrying out a third invasion, another strike against Ukraine, just as it repeatedly committed crimes against our people and other peoples in the past. This is now about much more than specific points of one document or another.
A summit celebrating Africa's debut as G20 host has now been marred by deep fractures in NATO, with President Trump's proposed peace plan for Ukraine barring the country from ever joining the bloc, and is now dominating the high-level talks on the sidelines of this gathering.
European leaders are going to pay a greater degree of focus. Ukraine is on their backyard. They are rightly so concerned about the conflict and its potential and destabilizing factor to the rest of the continent.
Here at G20, the realities of a fracturing world could not be kept at bay, with a gathering of world leaders aimed at unifying global goals, marked by the demands of the one who refused to show up. Yusra Al-Bagher, Sky News, Johannesburg.